So full disclaimer, this is a video. I probably could have used an Android emulator, but my laptop is too crappy to run Android Studio, so I'm not going to do that.
We're broke high schoolers. We can't afford more than this.
Exactly. So really, we just want to frame the problem in terms of the sheer numbers. So every 40 seconds, what we have is nearly 16 out of 100,000 individuals dying from suicide. And guess what? By 2020 to 2030, this is going to inflate to 16 out of 100,000 individuals every 20 seconds dying from suicide.
And there's more. 1 out of 6 adults and 1 out of 5 youth are currently experiencing a mental health illness. And this number, as we progress towards 2020-2030, is only projected to grow more.
So my name is Daniel Fleury, and I'm a senior from the John Marshall High School in Rochester, Minnesota.
And my name is Manasa Yerborna. I'm a freshman at the John Marshall High School in Rochester, Minnesota. And these statistics that we just slammed in your face are literally the harsh reality of what is precipitating at this very moment. This is an era of a mental health crisis.
So our company, Amiki, which is the parent company of Marvin, the mental health chatbot, essentially employs machine learning and deep learning algorithms. So we use natural language processing functions, and we've applied that to really big problems. So our past projects have included detecting around 14 different lung conditions from a camera of a mobile phone, detecting intracranial hemorrhages. So a lot of it has been really physical and physical focused on the human body, especially in radiology. But recently, we've been transitioning into the mental health sphere, so essentially manipulating the same algorithms, which Manasa can tell you more about.
So basically what we've been doing is taking a break from the diagnostics of like the physical medical side of that, and what we've been doing is using the same algorithm and asking ourselves if we could re-engineer it a bit and help with this mental health crises. And basically, we've created Marvin. So basically, Marvin is a mental health chatbot that can actively diagnose 5 mental health illnesses, including general anxiety disorder, major depression, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and OCD.
Right, so essentially what we've done is that traditionally what you see with natural language processing algorithms is that they have low inference time, right? So what we've done is that we've manipulated this open source algorithm called BERT, and essentially this was trained on Google's 1 billion sentences corpus. So essentially what it does is that in real time it's scraping web data and semantic text and actively tokenizing the text, feeding it into a large-scale machine learning algorithm which is called BERT, and basically it semantically analyzes it. So if you can think about like how a human first learns sentences, this is basically what we trained Marvin to do, and this took about like a month to just train the algorithm alone because again, like I have crappy resources and we're broke high school students. So I had to train this on like an NVIDIA 750 GT GPU, and it was all scraped from online data. But what we were able to do is that we were able to optimize it so the Marvin chatbot could respond with low inference. So again, what you see with NLP chatbots is it usually takes upwards of 5 to 6 seconds to respond, but with the Marvin chatbot, it has low inference time and it's been optimized computationally so it can respond on the spot and it can semantically analyze your input. So like over here, you can see it's
a quiz basically, and like you get this at the doctor's office when you go in, and you'd fill out how you're feeling that day or what symptoms you've been having, and this is what a lot of mental health apps miss out on. They don't offer this. What they do offer is like 20 minutes of putting in your credit card number, your name, your username, your password, and by the time you get through that, you're ready to give up. And what makes Marvin different from like a mental health crisis hotline, or we're talking about mental health apps, is that it's not an automated process. We're not gonna have you on a phone for 20 minutes answering automated questions or asking for your credit card number. No, that's not what we're here for. What we're here for is to create a community where you can ask for help and you can get the resources that you need. Because oftentimes when someone is going through a mental health crisis or having suicidal thoughts, they need help. They need resources that they can get at that moment, and they need someone to talk to. And that's what we've been actually adding recently, and we have a human-to-human connection, like a communication. So the victim or whoever's going through this mental health crisis can communicate with a human therapist.
Right. So Sorry, geez. But yes, like my partner just said, I mean, what you see with traditional hotlines is that it can take upwards of 5 to 10 minutes just to reach a baseline therapist, right? So when you start off with the hotline, you can do text message hotlines or cellular device or actual cell phone number hotlines. But basically, they lead you through a long-winded series of questions. And what Marvin does is that it minimizes this by over 10 to 15-fold by essentially taking 10 different variables of going onto the hotline, texting a counselor, and finally reaching your therapist. It breaks all of that down into a matter of seconds, on maybe upwards of like 3 minutes. And one of the best components is that we also have an opt-in, opt-out feature for the Marvin chatbot. So machine learning and deep learning obviously can only handle so much, and when a user has extremely complex emotions, a chatbot can't respond simply enough. So we have an opt-out feature. So essentially, the user can tell the interface for the chatbot to opt out, and will automatically connect you to an anonymous human agent. And again, like Monica said, we're trying to foster a very non-judgmental community. So it's completely anonymized, and actually what we would like to do
is take it to a global scale where we can have people around the world going into this app and getting the help they need. But in order to do that, we need your help. We need to get in touch with like people in the healthcare system, where we can talk with mental health institutions and people who work with mental health, like in a mental health institution, where we can get the help we need. And we also would like all your support with this.
Yes, definitely. And also, and just in terms of like the technical side, we're also looking at blockchain in terms of just decentralizing the data. Of course, we were considering cloud options on storing data, but obviously we want a more anonymized and hashed form of data storage. So we're looking at blockchain repositories. So like if anyone has experience with blockchain, we're pretty clueless on that. And yes, a lot of collaboration with mental health institutes.
Thank you.
So.